everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm here with a friend today. This is Cale. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, he drove all the way up to drink whiskey with me, which is I appreciate. So I'm not always drinking alone and looking like I have a problem.
It's always a good time.
So I talked a little bit in the last video about what we were going to do, but the basic gist here is that I had my wife Stephanie pour blind 4 single malts for each of us. And we don't know which one's which. We know which ones are on the table, but we don't know where they are. So in this lineup, we have 2 American single malts going toe-to-toe with 2 Scotch single malts. So that's really what we're doing here, is trying to pick out, well, we don't really necessarily want to pick them out. It's more like we want to rank them and see how the American single malts stack up against Scotch.
That's right. Should be interesting.
Any predictions?
I want to say I'll be able to tell the difference.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm curious to see because I've never tried these American single malts. So this will be a new one for me.
Yeah. My guess is if I had to make a prediction, I think I will end up staggering them. I think a Scotch single malt will probably take my first place, and I think I'll stagger them. But we'll see. So on the table, the 2 Scotch single malts are there's a Balvenie double wood. And the other one is one that you brought up,
That's right, the Aberlour.
So both of those are 12-year. The American single malts on the table are the Westward Distillery's Pinot Noir cask finish single malt from Oregon. And then we have a Texas Balcones lineage single malt. So this will be interesting because both of those distilleries, they don't source their barley from, overseas. It's all homegrown here in the States. So... And obviously, the other major difference is they have to age them in virgin oak, while Scotch is used oak. So we'll probably get a lot more oak on these American ones. But we'll just go your left to right, our right to left, starting with glass 1.
Glass 1.
And see what we think. I already have opinions.
I have an idea.
It's definitely malt forward on that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like a graham cracker, like a honey graham cracker. That's what it makes me think of.
Yeah, it's subtle, but it's there. It's not super forward on the nose.
No.
It doesn't really hit you in the face.
No, it has manners.
It does. It's very polite whiskey.
Very polite whiskey. I'm gonna taste it.
Let's do it. Cheers.
That drink's, to me, it doesn't have a whole lot of bite on the palate either. Like, you're not getting punched in the face with like a high proof point.
No, it's pretty smooth.
It's very smooth.
Easy to drink.
Crushable.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think a single malt with manners is a good way to describe it, because there's nothing about that is particularly offensive or over the top. Yep. But it has, the more it sits on my palate, I kind of get a little of like a honey flavor coming through with that cereal malt.
Yeah, it's a little bit syrupy, but not in a strong way. Mm-hmm. It's kind of got a little bit of underlying sweetness, but it's not too far forward.
I think a little bit of that dry oak comes through later. I think up front, the first thing that hits my tongue is that sweet graham, that sweet honey. And then a little bit of that tannic oak just kind of politely makes its way in there towards the end.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's very easy to drink.
Yeah. Move on to number 2?
Let's do it.
All right. I'm a little palate cleanser.
Yeah, that's right. Ooh. My first thought is I'm not sure I recognize it.
Uh-huh.
Which I'm not sure if that's a giveaway or not.
Sure.
I'll be a little ashamed if it turns out to be one of the Scotch whiskeys.
We almost put Lagavulin 16 in the lineup. Very, minutes ago, I looked at him and I was like, I kind of think maybe we shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Because that one, I feel like the second we smell it, because none of these on the table are peated. But anybody who knows lager, you're going to get that campfire peat smoke. Yeah. And a little bit of that briny character, too. Sea salty.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's friggin' delicious.
It is a good one. If you haven't had it, I would recommend that.
I also feel like it wouldn't be fair in this lineup. Yeah. It'd be like putting LeBron James in, your church league.
Yeah, I think that one would have stood out pretty strongly against the others. But
this one has almost like a toasty, charry note to it. Not smoke like your peat smoke, but almost like a charry oak quality to it.
This one has a stronger nose for sure.
Yeah.
It definitely singes a little. Just
Sure.
a little. Not too much, but it's there.
In some regards, it makes me think of like a Tennessee whiskey where they do their charcoal filtering process.
Yeah, sure.
And you get that charcoal note. It's not quite as assertive as I thought it was going to be.
It's really not. The nose on that, I think, indicates a stronger presence.
Yeah.
I sound so pretentious saying that.
Yes, quite.
But it really doesn't hit the palate the way you're expecting
Yeah.
after that nose. It smells stronger than it tastes.
It makes me think of I'm getting away from the notes I got on the nose. It kind of makes me think of something like Raisin Bran. Like almost get some of that sweet red fruit, but right alongside the malty cereal note as well.
It's kind of hard for me to distinguish any one singular flavor that stands out.
Yeah, it's kind of perplexing a bit.
Yeah.
But I think I can bank on that red fruit note. I think that's in there. You know, that's interesting because if that red fruit note is in there, I think the Aberlour that you brought is finished in sherry casks, isn't it?
It is.
And the Westward is also finished in Pinot Noir casks.
This is true.
You know, so
that might be a trip out.
that could be. I might have to double back to that one after I've tasted
That's
the others.
exactly what I was just thinking.
Yeah.
I think I need to compare that one to the other two we have left.
Ponder that one a bit.
Yeah.
Okay,
Going in on number 3.
the nose on 3 is so unlike anything we drank so far.
Oh,
At least to me.
Now that's different.
That's
That
much more
is
assertive.
different. I think I might know what this is.
You know what it makes me think of? When you pop the cap off like a dry erase marker, that initial ethanol hit that you get, boom.
Just that little punch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get that ethanol right there.
Wow, that is distinct.
No doubt.
It's very sweet on the nose.
There is a sweetness to it for sure.
Yeah. That stands out to me. I'm curious to try this one.
Shall we?
Let's do it.
Ooh. That's real like red fruit, but also roasty.
Again, another one with a really strong presence on the nose that just kind of eases its way out of the palate. That does not hit anywhere near as hard as I'm expecting
Right.
when I smell that.
I kind of thought that ethanol hit was going to happen right there up front on the
You're
palate,
expecting a punch.
and it didn't happen.
No. That's really interesting.
If I didn't say so before, Cale's a Scotch guy. So that's why I wanted him to be here for this particular episode.
That's right.
So let me ask you this. I mean, we're getting ahead of ourselves here, but American or Scotch?
I'm going to call American on this one.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think number
this one
3
stands out to me as very different than what I'm used to. So
Yeah.
that tells me that this is probably going to be an American because I don't think I recognize it. I'm pretty familiar with the 2 Scotches we have on the table today.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I've had the Belvini.
Yeah.
Had a little bit of the Aberlour the other night.
Yeah.
But this one stands out to me as a stranger, but a welcome one.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty nice.
It came to play at least. All right. Last one.
All right.
Oh, wait. Whoa, way different than what we just are coming off of.
Interesting. I'm not sure about this one.
On the nose, it's kind of like, it makes me think of like a breakfast pastry. Like a Danish, like a cream cheese Danish.
Sure.
A little sweet, a little savory.
Definitely a little bit of
Doughy.
sweetness there. Yeah.
A little doughy.
It's subtle, but it's there. Definitely a little bit I see what you mean by doughy now. I
Yeah.
don't think I would have...
Like if you had a
Pulled
fresh
that-
like yeast
Yeah.
dough in front of you that you were working.
Right.
I kind of get that on this nose.
I don't think I would have pulled that out until you said it. And then I'm like, yeah, actually that makes sense.
Uh-huh.
That fits. Yeah.
I'm gonna try it. The palate is sweet initially, and then it's roasty and boozy for me at the end. Like that ethanol comes through at the end for sure.
Yep. I definitely get some sweetness up front. A little bit of kick there in the middle. And then sort of that that slow ethanol burn on the
Yeah.
end. Yeah. Yeah. Now this one has tripped me up, I gotta admit. I thought I was... I think I had a good thing going until now.
Yeah.
That might have thrown me off.
What was the note that I just got? Like baking spices. I was like holiday baking spices, like a little bit of cinnamon and clove.
It's still going. That finish is
It's
really
long.
drawn itself out. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long finish
That's
for sure.
A very strong presence on the backside, so to speak.
I love that good strong backside. Always on the lookout for something with a good strong backside.
We have fun here.
My wife would say it has an oaky afterbirth.
Yes. Classic.
Okay, I'm just gonna do a quick flyby on these, and then I think what we do after that is we keep them in line, but then slide your best ones, like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And we'll kind of rank them. I'm gonna do a quick flyby here and finalize my choices. Ready?
As ready as I'll ever be.
All right, I'm gonna slide mine to where they go.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a tough one. Tough time sort of picking a top favorite. I think there are 2 that are top contenders for me, so I'm going to slide them both forward. And then I think I'm going to rank these kind of staggered.
Yeah.
So the first 2 might be a tie for me. It actually might just be
Just the way we drank them?
a straight line.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're going 1, 2, 3, 4.
I think so.
I'm
I think
going
that's
1,
fair.
and then number 3 is my second place. Number 2. So these 2 are switched for me.
Sure.
But we both agree that 4th place is last.
Yeah.
You ready to guess? Before we reveal what they are, what do you think number 1 is?
Number 1 to me, I think stands out as the Balvenie.
You think so?
I think so. Now, I could be wrong, because
Yeah.
I think the Balvenie and the Aberlour are similar.
Yeah.
They're definitely not the same,
Right.
but they're not supremely distinct from each other. I think they're very sort of comparable in
Yeah.
their overall palette, if you will.
So it's funny because I'm gonna call number 1 the Aberlour.
Yeah,
And you think then number 2 is the
Aberlour.
Aberlour. And
I
I'm
think
gonna
so.
say number 2 is the Balvenie.
You think so?
So that'll be interesting to see.
I could be getting
But
it
you're
backwards.
more Scotchy than I am, so
I'm gonna
I'll
feel
have to
really dumb now.
I'll have to
No,
I'll have to bow to your palate if
Might
you're
be
gonna be
bowing
right.
to you if I get this wrong.
And I think number 3 is gonna be the Westward. It was gonna be my guess because I
think so?
kind of got that red fruit note on there, and I thought the Pinot Noir cask finish,
Yep,
American single malt,
I completely agree.
and then that would mean this is the Texas Balcones.
Those
is
are my
number 4.
guesses. Yeah, those are my guesses.
So we're
flip flopped on the first 2, but we've got the last 2 the same.
So we both agreed that number 1 was number 1
Number 1
in the lineup,
being
best ring.
Scotch whiskey.
and we both said this is a Scotch.
Yep,
He says it's Balvenie,
that was my guess.
and I guessed Aberlour. Steph?
It's Balvenie.
I knew it. I knew it.
You got it. So
That's my Scotch.
the Balvenie double oaked came from Brian B Train. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate you.
It's good stuff. It's a good choice.
We both ranked it number 1 in tonight's lineup.
Constantly a winner. Every time I get a bottle of that, it
Yeah.
shines. Everybody I give it to enjoys it. I think that's a solid choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then number 2 has got to be the Aberlour, right?
You are correct.
Okay.
That's the Aberlour.
So we had those 2 flip-flopped. He got them right, I got them wrong. But we were in the same country at least.
We were in the same general location.
Now, number 3 took my second place. And I said this was the Westward. Is number 3 Westward or is it Balcones?
Westward.
It is Westward. So that red fruit note,
That
the Pinot
red-
Noir cask finish.
Absolutely stood out to me.
So the thing that I like about that one is that the Pinot Noir cask finish, they're over there in Oregon, and there's this valley there that is at the same latitude as the best Pinot Noir farms in France, which is
That's
what
right.
France is known for, their Pinot Noirs.
It's super cool.
Yeah, so the grapes grow phenomenally there, And so that's what they did. Is they're like, okay, we're gonna take the best Pinot Noir barrels we can find, casks. Sorry, they're Scotchies. One of the things I like about Westward is they are unapologetically like, nah, bourbon ain't the best whiskey. Rye ain't the best whiskey. The Scots were doing it right.
I can respect that.
I love bourbon, but I love when people are really passionate about their craft. So
Absolutely.
that means the Balcones is number 4, correct?
Yes.
Perfect. All right. I'm interested in what you guys viewing this. You know, you're going through the tasting notes with us. How would you have ranked these? Or maybe you've tried some of them yourself and you already have your opinions like, oh yeah, I totally would have ranked that there, and that there. So, but if anything else, we can say that we both recommend Balvenie.
Balvenie.
There you go. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Appreciate y'all. Cheers. May you get better with age and live richly. And we will catch you in the next one. Bye-bye. Thank you, Patreon supporters. I love you and I appreciate you so much. Also that. Bye.
Insert a beep in it.